Okay, so you've probably heard the term no pain, no gain. And it's usually probably been in regard to some physical workout or something that was more physical in nature. Fair? However, if you want to grow as a leader and even as a person, no pain, no gain also means leaning into discomfort in its various forms. Keeping everything simple, let's jump right in. Why should you get good at being uncomfortable? You see, we all have different zones or comfort zones in different areas of our life. Say you like working out and the style of working out you really prefer is weightlifting, getting absolutely shredded. But the idea of yoga actually intimidates you a little bit because it feels uncomfortable. Or say you're a more particular eater and you don't know if you'll like a certain food or a new restaurant, and the idea of trying it makes you a little bit uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. And here's one that we all relate to. No matter how experienced you are, say you suddenly have to give a presentation and all eyes are on you and you don't feel prepared or like you haven't had enough time to prepare. It just obviously feels uncomfy. If we dig a little bit deeper, we can see how exactly leaning into these feelings of discomfort actually shows how much we are growing as individuals. How are you growing from being uncomfortable? Well, let's take a step back and look at those previous examples. So if you're working out and it can feel uncomfortable when you're lifting something heavy, when you're in the gym, however, that soreness the next day is signs from your body that your muscles are actually growing, which is good. Or again, going back to being a particular eater, if you actively do go out, try new foods, try new restaurants, then you are growing in your life experiences as an individual. In facing a big presentation that you didn't know you were suddenly going to have to do, then you can grow in your ability to communicate, how you present yourself, public speaking, which, by the way, people still fear that more than death itself. So if you can grow in your public speaking abilities, good for you. And naturally, it's true that some people actually have an inborn higher tolerance for uncomfort. They can brave these situations a lot more easily and can become what we would consider go-getters, people that constantly try new things, push themselves, and step outside the box. However, that can sound scary. So for a second here, let's address fear. Being uncomfortable does not mean being scared. Let me set a picture for you. Say you're running an errand and you accidentally left your phone at home. Something we've all probably done at some point or another. After you're done shopping, you stand in line, and it's a long, long line. And so without your usual source of engagement or momentary distraction, you just have to stand there and wait. And wait. And wait. And that can feel a little bit uncomfortable. This is different than being scared, however. So while standing there with nothing but your thoughts to keep you company isn't generally dangerous, being scared is instead the fear that something dangerous is going to happen to you or to others around you. Like, say if you enjoy hiking, or if you've never done hiking before, going on your first hike might feel a little bit uncomfortable. Sure. However, you'd be scared going on that same hike if you suddenly hear or see a mountain lion. The danger is the difference. And I will note, if you do suffer from extreme anxiety or fear in the face of any new situation, then that's a separate mental health matter in which more resources and support would be beneficial in that circumstance to learn more about that. So how can you learn and practice to brave the uncomfortable? In choosing to face uncomfortable situations and grow, you want to keep everything simple and start slow and steady. So if you want to say eventually get into running and run a 10K, please don't sign up for a 10K that's in one day if you haven't run ever. That's not going to end well. Instead, put on your shoes and take a jog around the block. Start slow and steady, or chart a new path and go on a jog and a walk with a friend. What I'm saying is have a goal in mind before you actually start. It's the idea of starting with the end in mind so that way you don't get overwhelmed, you don't get overly anxious, and you don't get burnt out in the process. You want to actively try to enjoy the process as you develop your tolerance for braving the uncomfortable. So you want to get better at enjoying personal time or solo time, go to a coffee shop by yourself. Turn your phone on airplane mode while you run some errands. You want to get better at talking to people, greet one new person a day. You want to try a new workout or go to the gym for the first time. Start at home, or better yet, have a friend, because doing something that is uncomfortable with another person that you trust and that you enjoy their company alleviates some of that stress and some of that pain and can make the experience all the more enjoyable. So share your goals in the comments below. I want you guys to inspire each other to set your own goals and start with that end in mind for how you want to brave the uncomfortable. Slow and steady wins the race. So once you have your desired outcome, once you have the end in mind, write it down. And from there, make a short list of only 3 to 5, that works just fine, actions that you are going to take to get you closer to that goal, and that are going to help you stretch that comfort zone muscle and make it a bit wider. And I once again emphasize, don't try to do too much here. It can be overwhelming if you have 4, 5, 6 different goals that you are trying to set, and as a result, you can actually end up shooting yourself in the foot by making less progress as a whole by trying to spread your focus too wide. Keep it simple and focus on one step at a time for one particular goal at a time. That will help your progress go much quicker and make the process hopefully that more enjoyable. Make sure you check out my video on beating negativity bias, and I hope you guys feel inspired to brave the uncomfortable together, because I know you can do it. Keeping everything simple, have an amazing day, you amazing people, and I will see you all in the next video.